if you like to get out and about on your local footpaths, you'll probably be grateful not to have your piece shattered by the nose of motorbikes on them. But barriers installed on paths around Barrow to keep the bikes out are also stopping some other users in their tracks. More on this now from your Furness reporter John Bonus. Good morning, John.
Yes, good morning, Gordon. I'm in Furness Business Park, as you may be able to hear from a little bit of the traffic behind me. But also, I'm standing beside where a footpath leaves the road to follow along the shore. But at this point, there's a very sturdy tubular steel metal barrier, you can probably hear it there, to stop motorbikes getting past. Now, it's a big tubular steel thing, as I say. There's a part that sticks up from the ground to stop motorbikes going directly through. There's also a section where, if you can kind of do a bit of a U-turn, you could get through using a wheelchair or even a pushchair or something like that. But basically, it stops mobility scooters in their tracks, like the one used by Colin Chadburn from Walney.
If you have heart or lung problems, then you're more likely to have either an electric wheelchair, which, strictly speaking, is best used in very confined spaces, shops and the like, or a Class 2 or 3 electric invalid carriage. They're designed for up to 30 miles range. They can climb very steep gradients. They're what you would use by choice on countryside walks and scenic routes. These routes are quite often along places where a manual wheelchair just isn't practical, up and down steep hills and so on. Only a small minority of disabled people are capable of propelling themselves in a manual wheelchair. So to all intents and purposes, when you're talking about scenic walks, what you're talking about is allowing access to Class 2 and 3 electric mobility scooters. Anything short of that only caters for a minority of disabled people.
Now, this path goes a short distance north and over the slag banks left over from Barrow's Iron and Steelworks. Because you gain a bit of height there, it's a great viewpoint over the town, and it's one of Colin's favourite places. So much he once persuaded a couple of friends to carry his scooter over the barriers for him, and he even built a special ramp to tow behind it so that he could get over until that broke. He told me how it felt.
That flocks of all my favourite birds feeding in the mud, watching them all flying away and moving on as the water came up to them, watching the swirling of the water and the sky. You could see for miles, you could see the entire length of Walney. And if the council have their way, I'll never see that again. And that is just not fair. I want to be up there at midnight just to see what it's like. I want to be up there on sunny days, cloudy days, when it's pelting it down with rain. I have a right to be there. Accessibility, it's not a privilege that people can bestow on you, it's a right.
Now, listening to that is someone who I hope can shed some light on this. Sue Hodgkiss works for Capita Symonds on various projects for the County Council, including restoration of the slag banks and access to them. Good morning to you. Colin's got a point, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Good morning, John. And I know the structures that are in front of us here are extremely robust. I think what we've got to bear in mind is that these were put in during the 90s when powered chairs were extremely rare. So whilst they meet the requirements for self-propelled chairs, obviously over subsequent years we've had larger chairs, powered chairs coming into greater use, and clearly these barriers that we have in place aren't suitable for that type of Class 3 invalid carriage.
So can you offer him some hope?
I would like to think so. I know that we've certainly got a number of areas in Barrow where we've produced access routes that are fully open for disabled users, Westfield Trail and over on Walney, but we're currently working on the restoration scheme on the slag bank, and we're looking quite closely there at improving accessibility for wheelchair users.
So Colin loves being up on the hill just sort of behind us and over there. Can he look forward to being able to do that in the near foreseeable future?
That's certainly what we're aiming for. I agree that the views are absolutely stunning up there, and it should be something that everybody can enjoy, and we are looking at it very carefully indeed. I'm working with another gentleman in Barrow who is a wheelchair user, and he's been out to advise us on different aspects of accessibility up there.
Just very briefly, how soon?
Oh, we aim to put in the planning application probably between now and September, so watch this space.
Right, Sue Hodgkiss, thank you very much for that. Gordon, from here, from a sunny Barrow, back to you.
Oh, sunny in Barrow, that's nice to hear.